Hello everyone and welcome to Afro Movie Recaps. Today we will recap you the movie of an old country bumpkin who goes to the city, where city slickers try and ultimately fail to take advantage of him and steal his money. Our protagonist Osuofia arrives in London straight from his village in Africa. He has inherited the vast estate of his deceased brother who left the village years before and amassed a business fortune in London. Osuofia lives in a village in southeastern Nigeria where he talks a lot and drinks a lot of palm wine. His main occupation is as a hunter, at which he is spectacularly unsuccessful. He is hounded by his creditors, and together with his massive wife and 5 grown-up daughters they were able to put up a fight against them. Then one day a lawyer's letter arrives to tell him that a long-forgotten brother has died in Britain, leaving him all his money. Osuofia must go to London to claim his inheritance. His supposed trip to London was very much celebrated by the entire community, and even his daughter is celebrated too at school. On the day of his departure for London, the villagers are gathered in his compound to greet and wish him a safe trip. The local village teacher also gave him some lessons on how to greet people when he arrives in London. As he left for the airport, the villagers cheered so loud in excitement. Meanwhile, his arrival in London is highly anticipated by a crooked lawyer and his glamorous accomplice Samantha, a flame-haired temptress with a disconcerting resemblance to the young Rebecca Brooks, are working to get him to sign away his inheritance. Osuofia lands in London and is mesmerized by everything he saw at the airport there. And when the driver arrived to take him home, he was ecstatic by the beautiful limousine sent to pick him up as he entered the limo majestically. As they drove home, Osuofia was amazed by everything he saw along the streets of London and couldn't stop waving at everything and everyone. He got a little bit agitated when the driver of the limo pronounced his name wrongly due to his British accent, however he got really happy when the driver then addressed him as Sir. When the driver stopped at the gas station to get some fuel, Osuofia saw a black man getting into a bus and he mistook him for someone he knows, so he got out of the limo and jumped into the bus to talk with the black man. When his driver returned after paying for the gas, he was gone. On the bus, Osuofia sat by the black man and tried to talk with him and remind him they know each other from their village in Nigeria, but the man turned out to be from Jamaica instead and furiously asked him to leave his side. Moving to another seat, Osuofia was shocked to see a white couple kissing on the bus. On the other side, his limo driver called the crooked lawyer to tell him he couldn't find Osuofia as he had vanished. He was very furious with the driver because Osuofia was very important to him and he can't go missing. He got more furious with his secretary when she informed him his wife was on the other line reporting the blender at home is broken and she won't be able to blend tomatoes for their dinner meal. After getting off the bus and just wondering about the city of London, Osuofia was left stunned when he saw the Tower Bridge opening and closing. He even described the bridge like a dress which you can fold and unfold. He swore he was going to tell everyone about this bridge when he gets back to his village, including his dead ancestors. He couldn't hold his excitement of seeing the bridge and spoke to everyone he passed by about it. He came across a cannon bollard and thought to himself, if this were the kind of weapons they had in their community, they would have been able to defeat their enemies easily. He suddenly heard a loud sound but didn't know what it was, and as he tried to take to safety, he saw 2 men jogging and he thought the sound he heard was an alarm from the clock for people to start jogging, so he joined them and started jogging as well. As he continued to walk around the street, he saw a girl sitting down in a mini skirt and thought she was exposing her body. As he tried to get the girl to cover her legs and also cover her up using his jacket, the young lady gave him a very dirty slap. He was left stunned, and as he began to rant, the young lady asked him to F***K off as the onlookers laughed. He continued his tour around the city amazed by everything he saw. He got excited when a white lady helped him button up his jacket and even enjoyed a bus ride with other passengers. Hungry, he then walked into a McDonald's restaurant where he demanded to be served fufu and soup, however the waiter showed him what they have on their menu instead. Osuofia was left stunned and angry. McDonald's didn't have any of his Nigerian dishes. He then ordered some burger and which he tried to pay for it with a Nigerian naira note, but the waiter refused, saying the currency was not accepted there. Osuofia threatened to report him to his president back home for refusing the Nigerian currency and began eating the burger without paying. Walking around, still very hungry, he came around a park full of pigeons, which finally aroused his hunter's instincts, and as he tried to catch one of the birds to make a meal, someone called the police and they quickly arrived to arrest Osuofia. At the station, the officers questioned Osuofia where is he from and where is he going. They were having issues understanding each other and he got very angry when one of the officers yelled at him to let go of the pigeon he had caught, but he refused and they got into a heated argument followed by a little fight. The other officer received a call which then confirms his brother's address he was supposed to go to. He was then released and the officers took him to his brother's home address. Arriving at the address, Osuofia was left speechless by the huge mansion standing in front of him and even asked the police if they were sure they were at the right address. The butler of the house Jeeves came to welcome Osuofia and told him, they have been expecting him. Osuofia was short of words. Jeeves then took him to meet Samantha, who introduced herself to Osuofia as his brother's fiancée. He told her he was never aware his brother had a fiancée. However, since he is coming to inherit his brother's properties, he would also inherit her since she was beautiful. When the lady asked him what he meant, he brushed the topic aside by asking her to come inside and make him something to eat as he was very hungry. He got angry when the lady told him she can't cook, accusing her of starving his brother to death as she walks away. Having a call from nature, Osuofia comes face to face with modern plumbing as Jeeves shows him into the comfort room. Early in the morning the next day, Osuofia was again infuriated when Jeeves served him a full English breakfast. Claiming it was nothing better than the Holy Communion as he began accusing Jeeves and Samantha for starving his brother to death. He then stormed out of the house to go get something better to eat. He walked into a shop, got a pack of bread. The shop owner asked him to put down the bread and should only collect it when he comes with the money. He tried explaining to the shop owner he forgot money at his home just down the street and the shop owner should allow him go. When the shop owner threatened to call the police, Osuofia got really mad and stormed out of the shop, asking the shop owner to freely call the police then. As the shop owner followed him to collect the pack of bread from him, Osuofia opened the pack and started eating the bread forcefully. As he got back home and was having his breakfast, Samantha tried talking to him asking him where he stormed off to, leaving them worried. He asked her to go to the shop he took the bread from and settle the bills because the shop owner was going to call the police. He kept accusing Samantha of killing his brother, which made her furious as she walked out on him. The next day Osuofia met with the crooked lawyer who introduced himself to him as Mr. Ben Okafor and was responsible for managing his brother's businesses. He was surprised his brother had to employ someone to manage his businesses. He didn't care much about that and quickly told the lawyer he was there to collect all his brother's money as he was told. When Ben provided him with some paperwork to sign, Osuofia refused to sign, claiming he wasn't there to sign any papers but there to collect his brother's money, and asked where is the warehouse the money was stored in as he has already made arrangements for trailer trucks to come carry the money. Ben excused himself for a minute and went into the restroom where he lashed out at himself because Mr. Osuofia was making his evil plans difficult. Ben later meets with Samantha at a park where she is also complaining of how Osuofia is and she can't stand staying under the same roof with him. Ben blames her for not doing enough, that is why Osuofia isn't signing the papers. He tells her to flirt with him and show him her feminine side. He will sure fall for her charms and sign the papers, to which she objects, saying it is wrong for her to flirt with her late fiancé's brother, but Ben succeeds in convincing her to do it as it was going to make their plans easier. As he stands in front of his late brother's picture, saying from his eyes, he knows he wants someone to take good care of Samantha, which he is trying to do, but the lady is not being nice to him, but he will keep trying. Just then Samantha walks in and greets him flirtatiously, which made him super excited. He turned to his brother's picture and praised him for using his eyes to magically change the lady's attitude towards him. Osuofia and Samantha began spending a good time together, having dinner together and also driving around town in their limo. Before going to bed that night, Samantha asked Osuofia why he hasn't signed the documents Mr. Ben asked him to sign yet. To which he responded he doesn't trust Mr. Ben and he will only sign if Ben takes him to the warehouse where all his brother's money is stored. Samantha then managed to convince him Mr. Ben was just in a rush because he wants to complete the transaction quickly and get his pay for the job as a solicitor. Osuofia then asked her to call Mr. Ben to bring the documents and he will sign them, to which Samantha told him Ben had already left the documents with her. She brought the documents and gave Osuofia to sign, after which she quickly ran out with them. The next day she took and gave the signed documents to Ben, asking him to transfer her 90% share of the money to her offshore account in New York. The greedy Ben then told her, the terms have changed and he will be getting 90% and she, Samantha, will get 10% instead, and it was a take it or leave it offer. He then called the secretary to escort Samantha out of his office. The woman was visibly disappointed, and as he lost focus, she quickly snatched the signed documents from Ben's table before running out of his office as he chased after her. Samantha then got home and called for Osuofia to pack his things and they should get out of that house because Ben was coming after them. She went further to confess to him it was all a scam and Ben was trying to steal his money. At first, he refused to leave without going to carry the money from the warehouse, but Samantha assured him all they need to do is go to the bank and identify himself and the money will be deposited into his account and he can spend it from anywhere in the world using a debit card. As he still struggled to understand everything she was saying, she told him she has decided to be his wife and she is ready to follow him back to Africa. This made Osuofia super excited and he quickly jumped into the car as they drove off before Ben could arrive at their residence. When Ben arrived at their residence and inquired from Jeeves where Samantha and Osuofia had gone to, he told him they are on their way to the airport and are leaving for Africa, which made Ben very frustrated. In a chase to get to them as fast as he can, Ben was arrested by the police for overspeeding, which gave our lovers the chance to make their escape peacefully as they travel back to Africa. Thanks for watching and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and do not forget to subscribe to watch many more videos like this.